How's it going, people? It's Liam Cattison here as we react to episode number 11 of Lucifer Season 1. Excited to jump into this episode as I usually do with these episodes of Lucifer. And we're only a couple of episodes away before we do wrap things up with the first season and then move on to Season 2. This first season being a very, very strong start to the journey of this show. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, especially in the sake of Malcolm and Dan, because, of course, the last we saw, Dan decided to refuse Malcolm's mission to help kill Lucifer. And I don't think he's dead, I only think he's got knocked out, because I think Malcolm will still want to use him for his own personal gain, rather than the aspect, okay, you know too much, so you've got to be silenced. So, yeah, but what he did do is compromise any chance for Chloe and Dan to be together again after he sent that text posing as Dan saying, yeah, it's not happening between us. So that led Chloe to Lucifer, who was distraught and sought comfort from a friend. So yeah, we also had Lucifer's, the crime of the week. We had that story relating to Lucifer and the relationship, the strained relationship between him and his father. So it was a very, very nice touch to include that. But yeah, with that said, let's jump into this episode of Lucifer. Looking forward to seeing what happens in this week's episode. So with that said, let's go.
The guy who's been trying to get me into the stack since day one had a chance to sleep with me.
Development!
And what you did. Why am I naked?
What do you mean you don't remember the part where you passed out, woke up again, shouted at me, "It's too
Oh,
hot
so she
in this
woke...
five-story hole," I believe it was, then tore your clothes off and proceeded to hog the bed?
I do that sometimes when I'm upset, and you...
Oh, but I can. It's one of the luxuries of being the devil.
That's a hard yikes, Maze.
Detective! I believe you left these after our
Be
sleepover
Oh,
last
God.
night. What's the hole at the back for?
Be surprised how long you can stay mad at someone
Well,
for.
Commando.
Foundation's outreach program. Came here to meet him, and he was just lying here.
How did you know Mr. Dunley?
He was just
sponsored me to
lying
come to LA
here.
after the earthquake in Haiti. Tim was my mentor.
Handsome and
I'm
saintly.
back,
Did you
people!
see
Hot
anyone
ass
else
Cattison
at the
is
scene
back!
and notice anything strange?
There was a guy outside. He ran when he saw me.
When I'm dead, someone who's jealous. Someone who hates the fact that he's clearly got a thing for his ex-wife.
I don't think you're gonna be able to plant the seeds of hatred into his
Someone
head.
whose fingerprints I put all over the murder weapon. Someone
Oh!
you know, Dan?
It was rather benevolent of me offering up Lux, don't you think?
Well, one good deed doesn't make you a saint.
Well, last I counted, it was two.
That is
good
true.
deeds. But, I'm not feeling the same rush as before. Perhaps I'm gonna have to up my game.
Whatever you say, St. Lucifer.
Oh, Saint Lucifer. Suits me, don't you think?
Oh, how he's just sticking that middle finger up to his dad.
The devil does indeed wear Prada.
Wow. Thanks, brother.
It's disastrous with those trousers.
Someone might want to
though.
give him a shirt. I mean, that might be hot.
As gratitude for telling us everything you know.
So he's just full on.
And he's thinking.
Another act of selfless benevolence.
Oh,
Quite liberating,
God.
actually. Oh,
To tell me more about Tim and his relationship with Vanessa. What was it like?
Great. When the cameras were on.
And when they were off?
Ooh, a front indeed.
detective, you made it. A little underdressed, but okay.
Not that Tim was
What
shady,
happened with the orphan
but-
shop?
We're holding him, waiting on ballistic.
Appreciate it. If I give them what they want, they'll give us what we want. Hello, ladies. Thank you all so much for coming today. You've all given so
She is
generously
instantly
over the years
regretting
to the
every
Dunley
single
Foundation.
moment.
In honor of our fallen hero, I'll suffer no regrets.
Ah, the devil can go to that high pitch. Nice.
Stop it! Stop! What is wrong with you?
Oh.
Why are you enjoying yourselves? Tim is dead!
That's impeccable, Gaydar.
Tim was in denial about his
Was he
sexuality for
like,
years, and then
yeah.
we met.
That explains why he was never at home and all the secrecy. Did you two ever meet at a hotel?
No. No, that would have been too public.
Okay, so that's...
We only ever met at my apartment.
One out of the closet. Were you aware of anyone that would want to blackmail him or threaten to go to the press?
No.
I mean, unless you get revenge in another way rather than just
Text me this photo for safekeeping.
throw him, like, out there.
I have no
Or
idea
out
what it
him, should I
means.
say.
It's actually the last I ever heard from him before.
You, and inside, hell uses what you love against you. For me, I love life. Everything about it, got a hunger for it. So,
It kind of does play on the
they starved me.
stereotypes, how, like, you've got something
No
specific for
food.
you.
No other people, no nothing. No TV. Malcolm,
Driven to full-blown insanity.
you need help.
It'd be parking your ego and helping catch the bad guy. The old Lucifer would have known that. I miss him, by the way. At least he had my back.
Ooh! Ooh! Oh, that stung!
And because you have no one else to talk to either.
Says the angel sitting here eating a medium rare steak by himself.
Wow, I got called out. That's what I did for my birthday, like, those months ago. By myself.
A divine appearance there. Word got around.
He hates the goat thing.
I know!
And that's where he got it from?
Came from.
You know, I've waited 1,000 years to tell someone that.
See, excitement.
Leave the bottle.
Pure speculation.
It is. So help me get proof. If Vanessa transferred money to herself, it'll show up in her personal financial records, which you have access to.
You want me to violate my client's trust based on a hunch?
You took this job to make a difference. This
I mean-
foundation can still do good, the way Tim wanted it to.
If he's gonna get out, like, without any traps being set in front of him, jeez.
Detective, that you? Hope you come to your senses.
Oh,
Mr. Morningstar.
It's night time now. And it's funny how things seem so much clearer in the
Uh-oh.
dark.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is that all you got?
Oh, fuck.
Interesting. Most people. Sorry. And even if you do kill me, what happens when you do die?
So was
Because you will.
Amenadale, like, just
Eventually, you'll still go
using
back to
that
hell,
as a-
Malcolm.
as a
There's
hole to
nothing
get
that my
Lucifer
brother
dealt
can
with.
do to prevent that. One-time offer.
Yeah, there is all kinds of, like, regret going. See, that went down well.
It's not unusual that I'm in love with you.
Wait, is that a minute? Oh my god!
There you are. Can't very well start our party without our gift.
Tim, and he asked for nothing in return, not even his own happiness. Well, as the old saying goes, you can't keep a good man down, not even in death. So, how about we go downstairs?
Damn, Lucifer cracking
see
this.
night through, and then
Oh, for God's sake, there we go, because he knew too much. Oh, shit!
yes, it would appear that way, wouldn't it? What are you doing
Wait,
here?
so he's not dead?
Like him stop Malcolm, he's planning to shoot you.
Malcolm? No, this wasn't him. He's taken care of.
Yes.
So would he have survived Malcolm?
Have a drink. 2, if you like. Who says the devil can't be charitable?
Exactly, considering he's Detective Douche.
so much for your generosity. I would also like to thank
Lucifer's
our host,
growing.
Mr. Morningstar. He was going to say a few words, but unfortunately, he's been
Right on time. How are we all this evening? Eh? Such a well-preserved...
How she embezzled money from the foundation. And when Tim found out about it, you killed him.
See? Told you she'd figure it out.
You have no proof?
Actually, we do.
We have proof of the embezzlement, and that's enough for probable
You're backed in the corner. You got no.
Vanessa.
You got nowhere to hide.
I earned that money.
There it is again. That rush.
Oh my God! What are you? Hold up.
I had sex with your brother.
And that puts you in my good graces. How exactly?
I was his
I was gonna say
inside woman,
it's not.
and now I'm yours.
Okay.
I think us, our thing, maybe it goes beyond just work or sex.
What sex? Congratulations, the first woman to give the devil blue balls.
Anyhow, vulnerable. And maybe
What
that's
if-
okay.
She makes him vulnerable too.
Detective, if it's any consolation to your
See,
pride,
bleed. It is. She's making him vulnerable.
it appears you make me vulnerable too.
Oh, how literal. Oh, I think the big hunch was the feelings that was going on with Lucifer. He got quite a buzz, especially when there was him rejecting having sex with Chloe in the last episode. That it was revealed in this episode. He got such a high from it, and then other acts of kindness didn't give him the same amount of adrenaline. And then he made comments about that adrenaline again once Vanessa was apprehended. So I was thinking, is something going on regarding Chloe and how she's affecting him? And here we are. So that's the question. What is she? Is she... I don't know. Is she human? Is she a sleeper angel? Is she... Or is this a scenario where it's just meant to be, you know, your great strength is also your greatest weakness? Who knows at this point? I mean, apart from the people who are watching this, but of course, Ixnay on the spoilers, eh? But, yeah. So, it's going to be very interesting how Lucifer's going to tackle that in the next episode. Now he knows, he has for certain that his theory about Chloe making him vulnerable is evident. I'm wondering how he's going to approach her with that, how their dynamic is going to change, because they have blossomed, Chloe and Lucifer, to the point where where Chloe's so accommodating on who Lucifer was before. And this is the thing, Lucifer's been adapting throughout the season. To the point where he's adopted Saint Lucifer in this episode. And that's not really a comfortable vibe for Chloe, so it's interesting that she mentioned that and how she made note about preferring the old Lucifer, despite the fact that she made mention about, okay, well, you wanted to jump me before, and now you don't, so... Which, you know... You kind of expect respect to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure she does, but yeah, it's interesting she makes those comments, and then you know, you see the respect she has for him not taking advantage of her. So I'm wondering if like, I don't know, those feelings of like not taking advantage and whatnot, they have like authenticity behind them. Especially if she's catalyst to his, I guess, mortality. So yeah, but yeah, this was pretty good. It was good going into the crime of the week thing again, and you have Lucifer relating himself to the victim, and that you had this plot going on where he was secretly gay behind the scenes. And Vanessa kept everything hush-hush, and of course she was the culprit. I had my hunches between Will or Vanessa. There was alarming red flags going on both sides. but then then he agreed to help Chloe once Chloe tried the whole Lucifer stick, which in a sense it did kind of work, to be fair, but because Will appeared on her side after the attempted Luciferness on Will. So yeah, because that's how they found out about the school and how Vanessa was in the middle of that. So, which of course, the school thing did lead to her offing Tim. So yeah, yeah, it kind of did work, but yeah, like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see the dynamic between Lucifer and Chloe in this episode. But yeah, we got some what was interesting is we got some like return of some old concepts that have been utilized in this in this season. Like we had the naked Lucifer again. Of course, he was doing a good deed to that homeless guy. And yeah, we had him singing again, which is great. Like that, if that's going to be a continuation, that's good, because I think Tom Ellis has a really, really good like voice behind him in terms of the whole singing shtick. So yeah, it's not like Angel where it's comedically bad that you want more of it. It's genuinely good. So yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to get more of that. But yeah, there was like some interesting context behind not just generosity behind Tim, I think his name was, but also how he had a life similar to Lucifer. It kind of bounces off the idea of the priest in episode 9, yeah, episode 9, how he was kind of like Lucifer before he turned his life around. There's there's echoes that in this episode. So yeah, but there was some very interesting ideas utilized behind the character and what led to his shooting. So yeah, and I just loved how Lucifer just hung Vanessa up for dry, and yeah, it was just really good. But I've got to applaud Chloe for like deducing everything together at the very end of that. Amazerdale, if that's even a thing, yeah. That was a sight to behold, like when the wings, yeah, that's something that I never thought I would see. So that completely caught me off guard. But she wanted to throw Amenadale into the realms of having an exciting life. So yeah, but also she felt lonely. She was, I guess, completely vulnerable like Lucifer, but not in that sense. Vulnerable in the idea that she was completely alone and she needed someone to talk to or interact with, at least, because she got more than a talking to in this episode with Amenadale. So yeah, but she's told Lucifer she's on his side. So yeah, it's at least a start. I don't expect rushed development in terms of Lucifer and Maze being back to where they were before. This takes time, like as he said. So yeah, but it was still very I mean, they've had some interesting interactions before, but not of that caliber. So yeah. And then we had Malcolm. Specifically, there was that moment where he was going to kill Lucifer. And we had Dan. I'm surprised Malcolm didn't lay out a trap for him any further. But then again, I think his intent was to kill Lucifer. He would break out, and then he'd be framed with the body if the shooting did happen. So, and his plan worked out pretty fine. He wanted him to rush out so he could be at the body and be framed for it, especially since his fingerprints were on the gun. So yeah. But now he has the coin that Lucifer gave him, so he could return to the mortal world, which I think was his ticket, which was Lucifer's ticket. So if he ends up in hell again, then he's going to be stuck there. He can't exactly be shot and then return to hell and zip back up on the material plane like I guess he originally planned if something were to happen to him. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can retrieve that back, because you wouldn't want especially someone of Malcolm's characteristics who is See, it's interesting because yes, fear is running through his mind. He's been to hell and he spent an eternity there in the perspective of being at hell, whereas only moments passed here. Um, and there's so much fear driving in his mind that that's what's getting him to do to try to shoot Lucifer. So much so that he spared his life and took the thing. So if he did go back to hell, he could zip back on to the material plane. But he does have that obnoxiousness with him too, especially since he is clearly dragging down Dan to hell in a metaphorical sense, by trying to frame him, by ruining his life. So. It's not like you do feel so bad for Malcolm, but he is driving that. There's that fear that is driving him, evidently. So, yeah, but it was very interesting to catch up on him and what he was planning on doing. But yeah, neat episode. We've got a couple of episodes left this season, so it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see Lucifer's dynamic with Chloe and how if that has shifted, and how he's going to take the approach with that revelation into the next episode, and what we're going to do about Malcolm, because yes, he might have spared Lucifer his life, but now he has something personal of Lucifer's that he does seem like he does need back. So, and not just that though, but since Dan is free, it's kind of jeopardized. Like, Malcolm's kind of in a bit of a rut with Dan being free and knowing what he was planning on doing. So it's not like all of whatever, like, just because he spared Lucifer, it's not like that's swept under the rug. He's still a threat out there. So he's going to need to be taken care of in some capacity. So we'll just have to wait and see what does happen. But yeah, loved this episode. Loved Lucifer. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next episode. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care. I will see you guys next time. Toodles!